Hello, it is time to start, but I'm just going to wait a few minutes for people to trickle in before we get going. Hello, it is time to start, but I'm just going to wait a few minutes. Oops, I echoed myself. I got to turn off the sound. So if you do jump in, even if you're a bit delayed, even if you're watching a little bit behind, just feel free to jump in and introduce yourself in the chat if you feel up to it. And just hang tight for just a few moments. I wish I could play music through the couple minutes waiting, but I'm never sure how the YouTube rules work. Sometimes they take down your videos if you play music, so we'll just chill out and we'll get ready to talk about yoga for chronic fatigue in this kind of mini online workshop. And we'll just give one more minute and then we'll get going. So I can see there is a couple people watching. So yeah, if you're there, feel free to introduce yourself. And if you don't feel like it, that's okay too. Participation is not mandatory. You can just hang out and watch. If you are, I'm in a very warm place today. Summer is here, so if you're in a very warm place, even though our practice is going to be very gentle, it's great to keep hydrated when you're doing any form of exercise. So that's why I've got my water bottle here. So if you want to grab some water now, go ahead. All right, so I think we are ready. Someone was just messaging. All right, I'm just going to quickly check the meetup page to see if anyone was having trouble, and then we'll get started. And let's hope we don't have any technical problems today. My Wi-Fi has been a little wonky lately, but it seems all right now. But if it is pausing or you can't hear the sound or anything like that, just type in the chat and see what I can do to hopefully fix it. All right, let's get started. So this is the yoga workshop for chronic fatigue, and I have a whole course on this that's starting actually on Monday, on June 19th. And we do get quite in depth to how yoga can help with chronic fatigue and chronic pain and other stuff. So today we only have a little bit of time, so we're just going to look at one aspect of how yoga can help. And then we're going to do a practice together that's about 35 minutes, I think, about. And hopefully that will be helpful to you, and you'll get a little kind of sneak about how yoga can help with your chronic fatigue syndrome. So I think kind of the basics of how yoga can help in any way with any condition. The first thing is just do no harm. So kind of like the Hippocratic Oath as a yoga teacher and as a yoga practitioner for yourself. I don't want to do any harm to any of you, obviously, by leading you through the practice, but you are also your own teacher and you want to listen to your body and make sure that you're not doing any harm to yourself. But again, yoga is safe, it's gentle movements, it's stretching, it's not drugs, it's not rigorous exercise. So the first thing you can do is do no harm. And for me, this was really huge because I had grown up playing sports and loving sports, and when I got ill, all of a sudden I couldn't do them anymore. And then when I tried yoga, I could do yoga. So for me, just yoga doing no harm. So before I got any benefits of it, I kept going back to yoga because it was something I could do that would do no harm. So I think that's I also love that yoga is adaptable. So if you're feeling too fatigued to practice, I have a video on here that you can do from bed. You can also visualize the practice. You can listen to a recording of any yoga video, just lying down and just imagining that you do it. And studies have shown that people who do that can get up to 2/3 of the same muscle benefits as if you were actually doing the exercise. So that's pretty amazing. Just by using your mind, you can actually help strengthen your muscles, which I think is really important because obviously when you are living with chronic fatigue, it's very difficult to exercise. So that was quite amazing for me to learn about and study and to research. And on that same note, you can also meditate, which again, it just requires lying or sitting. So it's very adaptable. I think the physical components, the stretching and the strengthening exercises are really helpful and really important, but it's adaptable to the day. And if you do meditate or you do visualize rather than doing physical postures, that's just as good. It's even better, really. The reason yoga, we think, developed was because monks needed a way to stretch and stay strong so that they could sit for long periods of time in meditation. So really the sitting in the stillness is the end goal. So you should never feel bad about doing it. So if today you're not feeling super energetic or you're feeling a bit nervous about trying yoga, if this is your first time, I really challenge you to listen to this beginning part where we're going to talk a little bit about the theory, nothing too complicated or anything. And then when we do the practice, just to close your eyes and visualize and see how that feels. And maybe you've done yoga lots before, but you've not visualized. And even if you have the energy today, you might want to see what visualization is like. So that option is always there for you. One way that I want to look at today that I think yoga can really help people with chronic fatigue syndrome is by helping you really deeply relax. And this is by the breathing exercises and by the postures or the yoga asanas that we're going to go through. And I really think that one of the stressors, I suppose, of chronic fatigue is not being able to get that full relaxation. I mean, raise your hand how many people here feel exhausted all day and then can't sleep at night. And I know that was 100% me, and it was so frustrating because I was so tired and I just wanted to sleep, and then I couldn't sleep because my mind was racing or I was tossing and turning and I didn't know why. And now that I've done a lot more research and done a lot more experimenting myself, I know the reason for that was because even though I was tired, I wasn't really relaxing, and there's no way your body can bounce back from any illness, no matter what it is, if you're not getting that really, really deep rest so that your body can. So just take my notes here. So yoga can really help us to get that full relaxation, which can really help us regenerate. And just saying that now, I only think of Doctor Who, if there's any other nerds here, how the doctor regenerates him. And every time he regenerates, he's always a bit wobbly and he needs to take his rest. And it's the same if you're ill and you're ready to get better. You need to take that rest and that deep relaxation. And one really interesting study that one of my Yoga Nidra teachers told me about, so we are going to do a Yoga Nidra practice at the end of our yoga practice, is that people who are regular meditators recover from stress faster than people who are not regular meditators. So if something stressful happens to you in the day, let's say you're going for a walk and the light changes and you step out to walk and then a bus is coming and you jump back, that's going to make you stressed out. And that should make you stressed out. That's a helpful kind of stress because we want to know to not walk in front of cars. But what happens is people who don't meditate tend to carry that stress with them all day, so that even though the incident is long past, their hearts might still be beating faster, their digestive system could be shut down, their mind could be kind of on high alert. So even though the stressful incident is over and they've learned the lesson, they carry that stress with them throughout the day. And meditators are much more likely to have a quicker go back to normal, have a quicker, wow, my heart is racing, my blood is pumping everywhere, my mind is racing, and then I'm going to take a few deep breaths and go back to that calmer, more relaxed state. And that's obviously much easier on the body. We don't want to be in these hyper aroused states for very long. So I don't want to talk too much more because I want to get into the practice. I just want to talk a little bit about Yoga Nidra because I'm not sure if you guys will have practiced it before. So Yoga Nidra literally means yogic sleep. And some people even claim that just meditating for half an hour can have some of the same benefits of sleeping for several hours. So just a side note that if you do have trouble sleeping, sometimes meditating can still help you get that restfulness. And the reason that I love Yoga Nidra is that it's a visualization. And so some people who have trouble concentrating in mindfulness meditation because they find that their mind is racing and they can't bring their focus back to the breath or to the present moment. In Yoga Nidra, some people find it easier. So we'll do a breathing exercise, kind of mindfulness meditation at the beginning and the Yoga Nidra at the end, and you can compare how each of them. All right, so if you have any questions, or if you have anything you want to share about anything you found about deep relaxation or sleep or anything like that, feel free to hit it in the comments and I will set up to start our yoga practice. And we're going to be on the floor today, so there's not going to be any standing. It's just going to be lying down or seated. So just give me a minute. Sorry to rummage around. Get the computer angled down to my mat. Really hoping that I've removed all the mess, or enough mess in my room. All right, there we are. All right, and now I'm going to be a little farther away from the computer, so if you can't hear or if you can't see, just type. I'll come and check back on the chat comments periodically. All right, so let's get started by lying down in Shavasana. So Shavasana is corpse pose, which means you just want to use as few muscles as possible. So stretching your legs out, letting your feet flop to either side, placing your arms by your side palms facing up, closing your eyes, tucking your chin very slightly. And just seeing if you can use as little effort as possible in this pose. Staying in this posture and just beginning to breathe normally, or continuing to breathe normally rather. So we're not trying to change our breath in any way, but just notice what your normal breath is like. And now if you can, begin breathing in and out through the nose. possible for you today for whatever reason, then breathe through the mouth. The most important thing is that you're not struggling to breathe. And now take a nice deep breath in through the nose or mouth if you need to. And let's all exhale through the mouth. Again, inhale and exhale through the mouth. One more time, inhaling. Now going back to the normal breath, but seeing if you can keep a little bit of that depth with you. Breathing deep into the belly now. Maybe even placing one hand down the belly. See if you can feel the breath coming in and out of the body. And now we're going to do a little breathing exercise with extended exhales. So we're going to count the inhale and the exhale. So start by inhaling and exhaling all the air to the belly. And then inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue this on your own count. And if it's too much, if you feel like you're struggling to breathe, you can move it down a bit to 3 and 5. And if you want to try to take it a little deeper, then you can move it up, maybe 5 and 7. So finding what works for you and for your body. Now letting go of the counting to keep these deep breaths, but letting the inhales and exhales naturally even out. And if naturally the exhales continue to be a little bit longer, that's fine as well. Now let's set the commitment to keep these nice, steady, calming breath with us throughout the practice. And now let's just reach the arms overhead and point the toes, taking a nice stretch. And then pulling the knees into the chest, rocking a little from side to side. And then bringing your arms into a T position. And if you have more space than me, you can stretch them straight out. And then letting the knees fall over to the right. You can stay right here. Or if you want to go a little bit further, you can look over the left shoulder. If your legs are kind of hovering off the ground or it's a bit uncomfortable, use a pillow. Let me grab one and show you if anyone wants to make this little adjustment. So you can grab a pillow and you can either place it under your knees in the twist if your knees are hovering, or you can even put it in between the legs. So finding what is comfortable for you. Maybe closing your eyes here, just focusing on the moment, not worrying about anything else around you. On your next inhale, coming back to center, bringing the neck and the hips and the feet. Taking a breath here. And prepare to switch sides. So if you are using a pillow, you can move it to the other side. Keeping the arms the same, bringing the legs into the belly, and this time, letting the legs fall down to the left. Again, if it feels good for you, you can look over the right shoulder, or if that's tough on the neck, just looking straight up, knowing that you don't need to do the same thing on both sides. If your mind starts to wander, especially if it's traveling to a place of something you need to do, where you need to be next, just bringing the focus back to the breath and to the present. Allowing yourself to put those things aside. You can think about them later. You've got the rest of the day or the night, depending on what time it is where you are. So just take this short half an hour practice to be solely present and to not think about anything else. And on the next inhale, bringing the feet, the hips, and the head back to center. Bring the arms back down by your side, maybe resting them on your belly. Taking a couple breaths here. And then roll over onto one side, either side. Maybe using your arm to make a pillow. And then when you're ready, very, very, very slowly, we're going to transition to our hands and knees. And if you do struggle with dizziness or POTS when moving positions, make sure you move very, very, very slowly. You can even pause it if you need to. So we're in no rush in the movements. We're going to come on to our hands and knees side. And we're going to have our hands and knees placed evenly. So the knees are going to be roughly under the hips, and the hands are going to be roughly under the shoulders. We're going to have a micro bend in our arms. And that's just because many people, especially women, hyperextend in that joint. So if you notice kind of your elbow creasing or spacing forward, that's probably you. And you just want to bend a little bit so that you're using your muscles to support yourself rather than putting stress on the joints. Now we're going to come into cat-cow pose. So inhale, lifting up the hips, opening up the chest, looking forwards. The hips under, arching the spine, and letting the head gently fall down. Inhale, lifting the hips, looking forward. This is cow. And then exhale, arching the spine like a cat, letting the head drop down. Continuing this movement on your own breath. Just loosening up the spine and getting ready to move. Inhale, cow, looking forwards. Exhale, cat, looking between the legs. To center, we're going to just do a little side stretch. So inhale, looking shoulder and bringing the right hip towards you. So you're making a little U curve with the spine. Staying here for a couple breaths. And then inhale back to center. Let's twist to the other side, looking over the left shoulder and moving the left hip towards your nose. And then inhale, center. Right, and we're going to come into child's pose now. So bring the knees about as wide as the mat, the feet together. You can sit between the heels. And if you're very high up here, again, you can use the pillow here. You're going to walk the hands down until your forehead touches the mat. And if it doesn't, again, you can put a nice big pillow or rolled up blanket in there. Just letting the forehead rest on the mat or the pillow. Releasing any effort here. The stretch is great for the hips, the thighs, the lower back, and the shoulders. On the next inhale, slowly walking the hands back up. So that you come to sit on your knees with your knees together. And again, using a pillow in between the calves and the thighs if you need to. I'm just going to take a few breaths here waiting because I hope everybody is moving very, very slowly. We are in no rush. So once you're here, placing your hands on your thighs, adjusting to this new height, being seated, and just taking a couple breaths. And we're going to do now a little flow, and maybe you just want to watch the first time and then join in. So we're going to place the hands by the side, and palms are facing outwards. Inhale, coming to stand up on your knees as you lift your arms all the way up to the ceiling, looking between the fingertips. And then exhale with control, lowering the arms, lowering back down so that your forehead rests on the mat. All right, and if you're ready, you can join in with this one. So inhale, sweeping the arms up, standing up on the knees. Exhale with control, lowering all the way down to the mat. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, lowering back down. Inhale, palms to the sky. This is our last one. And exhale, releasing, resting here for a couple minutes. Great job. And if you think you could stay there in this more traditional child's pose for a few more breaths, or you can make your way up to just a normal cross-legged position. I am just seeing a message coming on Meetup, so I am just going to check that very quickly. So wherever you are, closing your eyes, connecting with your breath again. Great. And now everyone, let's join each other in the seated position. So just normal cross-legged position, however's comfortable. You can also sit on your knees if that was more comfortable for you. We're going to start by doing a few shoulder rolls, nice and slow. Inhale, coming forwards and up, and exhale, down and back. Continuing on your own breath, nice and slowly. And now let's change directions. And now coming back to neutral with the shoulders. We're going to inhale, lift the shoulders up to your ears. And exhale, let them drop down. Inhale, lift them up to your ears. And exhale, dropping them down. Let's hold them up for 2 breaths now. So inhale, lifting, exhale, holding them there. Inhale, lifting, and exhale, letting them drop. Maybe wiggling from side to side, doing whatever feels good. One more shoulder roll. And now let's move on to the neck. So bringing the left hand to the right ear, you're going to guide the head down so that the left ear is moving towards the left shoulder. And keeping that left shoulder nice and low at the same time. And if you want a bit more of a stretch, reaching down with your right fingertips. Just stretching all along the right neck and shoulder. It feels nice. And then releasing and taking an inhale, coming back up. Exhale. Inhale, let's do the opposite side, bringing the right hand to the left ear and drawing the head towards the right shoulder, stretching out the left neck and shoulders, or shoulder rather, only one on each side, I hope. Breathing deeply. This can be intense. I know many people carry tension in this part of the body. Making sure we keep it our nice deep breaths and finding the right intensity for you today. And then releasing. Great. Now we're going to interlace the hands with fingers, moving them behind the head, kind of guiding the head down, not pushing, just guiding and letting the elbows flop. So letting gravity do its work here, just using the hands for a little bit of extra pressure. And inhale, coming up, releasing the hands. If you need to switch the way you're sitting, maybe switching the legs or moving either onto your knees or from your knees to cross-legged, go ahead right now. We're going to do a little seated twist now. So bringing the right hand to the left knee and to just behind the left hip or even to the center to where your sit bones. Inhale, we're going to sit up as tall as we can, nice long spine. Exhale, you're going to look over that left shoulder and twist. Finding length. Exhale, twisting just a tiny bit more. And inhale, coming back to center. We're going to do shoelace. So if you're on your knees, now you're going to come and sit in a cross-legged position. And the right leg's going to be on top. So putting your right foot on the mat, you're going to slide your left foot kind of underneath that right leg as much as comfortable for you. And then you're going to move the right leg over and let it flop down. So ideally your knees are stacked on top of each other. If that's not happening to you today, that's all right. What we're really looking for is a nice stretch on the outer right hip muscle. So you can inhale here, sitting up tall. And if this feels good, you can stay right here. But if you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you can start to hinge forward the hips. If you do a lot of sitting, your hips might be very stiff. So this is a great deep stretch. Staying here a few more breaths. And now coming back up straight, unravel the legs. Coming back to cross-legged position. And we're going to twist to the other side now. So bringing your left hand to your right knee, and your right hand behind you. Inhale, sitting up straight. Exhale, looking over the right shoulder and twisting. Seeing if you can take each breath, each inhale and each exhale as a moment to make a little tiny micro movement. Moving a tiny bit upwards and exhale, moving a tiny bit around. Exhale, releasing. Now we're going to shoelace to the other side. So planting the left foot on the mat, sliding the right foot under so it just feels comfortable. And kind of walking that left foot over and letting the knee fall down. And we're kind of sort of aiming for stacked knees, but I mean, even for me, that's not really happening on this side today. So whatever feels comfortable for you today, whatever helps you feel that nice juicy stretch in your hip. And then inhale, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, noticing the tension in the hip. And noticing if you feel comfortable here, nice stretch here, or if you would like to take a slight forward bend, keeping the spine long. Closing the eyes again here, drawing the attention and the energy inwards. Now we're slowly going to release this pose and move back to lie down on the mats. We're going to finish with our yoga nidra practice. So you can either lie back down in Shavasana like we did at the beginning, or if you want, you can bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall to either side if you want a bit more of a hip stretch. Choosing what's right for you today. Taking your time to get comfortable, closing the eyes. And returning to the breath. Perhaps doing a quick scan of the body, starting at the feet and moving all the way up to the head. Not judging anything you're feeling in your body right now, but just notice if you're feeling any places of tightness or looseness, any places of pain or fatigue. Just noticing without judgment. Yes, to those parts of the body. Now let's bring into our mind's eye A memory of a time when we feel completely comfortable, completely happy and at ease. This could be a time from your childhood or your youth, or it could be something more recent. It could even be real or something you imagined. It doesn't necessarily need to be a real memory. But just try to bring to mind the first memory that pops into your head or the first thought that pops into your head of you feeling completely safe and happy and healthy, energetic. Seeing how many details you can remember from that memory or that imagination. Where were you? Were you outside or inside? Maybe you were in your house or a friend's house. What room were you in? Or perhaps you were outside at a park in someone's yard, perhaps at the beach, in the water, or hiking in the forest. Just bringing to mind fully the place where you were, noticing how the ground feels under your feet, or perhaps it's water. Noticing what the weather's like, or the temperature of the room, temperature of the place you are. Noticing if it's sunny or cloudy, hot or cold or mild. Now bringing to mind who was there with you. Perhaps no one, perhaps it was just you. Perhaps there were other friends or family around. Bringing them into mind as well. Now noticing in this place, what can you hear around you? Perhaps there are people talking. Perhaps you're even in conversation with someone. Perhaps you can hear children playing, birds chirping. Maybe there's a river running or wind rustling through the trees. And noticing what you can taste. If you're eating something, what that tastes like. Eating, just noticing if there are any sensations of taste in the mouth. And bringing into mind how the whole body feels in this place, in this happy, energetic, safe memory. Does it feel light or heavy? How does the chest feel? How do the shoulders feel? What emotions are you feeling? Seeing if you can now allow yourself to fully experience that memory, fully experience how you were feeling at that time. And then slowly allowing yourself to come back to the present, come back to the room you're in. But seeing if you can carry with you even parts of those happy, light feelings you had in the memory as you come back to the present. And bringing now your awareness to how your body feels now, what you can hear around you, what you can smell or taste. Now very slowly opening the eyes, allowing your vision to be blurry at first, and slowly noticing what's in the room around you here. Now placing your hands on your belly, goes back to the breath. Every time in meditation, we want to bring our focus in the end back to the breath. And maybe wiggling the fingers and the toes, making circles with the wrists and the ankles. Taking a stretch overhead or doing what you feel like you need to do. When you're ready, rolling onto one side. And only when you're ready, slowly coming back up to seated. Thank you for joining me in this yoga practice. Namaste. Great. Well, thank you so much to everyone who joined. I'm just going to come back to my desk chair. I know a couple people jumped in the middle. Does anybody have any questions about anything we did? Feel free to just type it into the chat. Not seeing any questions. Well, feel free to keep typing them. I'm going to stand for a few more minutes, but I'll just keep talking if I don't see any questions. So that was a nice short yoga practice that's gentle. You can do that a few times a week. And I have some other videos on my channel that you can combine it with that are free. And also last month we did the first of these webinars, so this is just the second one, and I really loved it again. But the original webinar, the Yoga for Chronic Pain, should still be on my YouTube channel, so you're welcome to go back and watch that as well, the repeat of that. And this will be on repeat as well if you do want to come back to it. As I mentioned at the beginning, my Chronically Kind Yoga is a course I run online, so it can be done from anywhere in the world. And I do it about 2 to 3 times a year, depending on my schedule. And we're starting on Monday. There's still a couple spots, so you can head to my website, arogayoga.com, if you'd like to sign up, or send me a message on Meetup or here, and we can definitely chat about that. So we get obviously much more in depth. It's a 6-week course, but I hope that this was a nice little introduction to how yoga can help you with chronic fatigue syndrome and how yoga can help you to fully relax. I hope that you guys are feeling a little bit more relaxed now. Great. Well, as always, I'd love your feedback. So you can email me at kayla@arogayoga.com, comment on the video, comment on the meetup page. Yeah, I would love to know how you found it. If you'd like to do another one, what perhaps topic you would like if we do another one. I think might be kind of a fun thing to do every month. Yeah. So that is it. And if you have any questions as well, feel free to get in touch about anything that we did. Any questions? So I am going to sign off. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye-bye.